All right, what's good? What's good, people? Welcome to today's show. I just want to let everybody to know that my channels, both of my channels, the Chicago Bears Sports Talk channel is going to be on cruise mode for live streams, including my Sports Bar network. For I would say majority of my community is knows about. Both of the channels are going to be on cruise mode, so. Um, I'm only going to be doing a video here and there, but as far as live streaming, I'm going to take a massive long break because I'm going to be honest, I'm burned out. I'm burned out. I've done like too many college streams and NFL streams, but I'm just like done. And I'm also kind of busy with my life in general because I have a job right now that I actually care more about. Like this is just a hobby to me, whether or not I get my monetization back. Cough, cough. Knock on wood. All right, so let's get to today's topic is why Ben Johnson is being overlooked by the media, and I do get into heated arguments. Well, not considered heated arguments, but disagreements in this community because some people think that Ben Johnson is not fit to be a head coach. Okay, and I have to understand that they said, oh, why couldn't the Bears go after somebody like Mike Vrabel? Why couldn't the Bears hire Pete Carroll? Look, would I be open to the opportunity if the Bears were to hire those two individuals? Yes. But there's one problem. Those two people not only are their defensive coordinators, but let's go with Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel, as soon as the Patriots fired Jared Mayo, automatically everybody and their brother knew that the Patriots were going to likely hire Mike Vrabel to be their head coach. That's hence why they only hired Mike Vrabel a week. He didn't get a second interview. The Patriots speeded up the process just to get Mike Vrabel because Mike Vrabel has history with the Patriots, and I think the Patriots wanted him, and I think Mike Vrabel wanted to coach the Patriots. So Mike Vrabel was never an option for the Bears. Okay, and to be honest with you, people like saying, "Oh, but what if he was interested in the Bears?" Folks, I think Mike Vrabel is a solid head coach. No interest, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He is a solid head head coach. But there are some cons that are concerning because outside of 1 year where he made the AFC Championship game with Ryan Tannehill, he hasn't proven anything. He was the number 1 seed and lost to Cincinnati, and their defense did pretty good against Joe Burrow. It was just the offense couldn't move, and not to mention, I don't think. We have yet to see what the Josh McDaniels offensive coordinator hired that they do, but Mike Vrabel is a defensive minded head coach, which never worked. Okay, over the past years, the only head coach I could tell you that has won the Super Bowl, like this past years, are Mike Tomlin. I think one in 2009 was Mike Tomlin, I think, and then who has it? But I'm talking about the 2010 era. The only defensive coordinators that I can think of that have won the Super Bowl are what am I thinking? Bill Belichick, and the second was what was it? Bruce Arians or Todd Bowles. Either one. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach around the time, because was he a defensive-minded head coach? I know it was either Bruce Arians or Todd Bowles. But over this past decade, the winners of the Super Bowl have been offensive-minded head coach, and it starts with Andy Reid, which Andy Reid is bound to win his 3rd Super Bowl in a row, and you have a guy like Sean McVay. So the league is translating to offense, and literally teams that are in the Super Bowl are being coached by a offensive-minded head coach, Andy Reid and Nick Sirianni. Like, those are two offensive-minded head coaches. Let's keep it a buck. So the Bears are looking at how the league is translating, and they're saying, we can't go out and get a defensive-minded person like Mike Vrabel or Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, I would have been open to it, but at the same time, he's 86 years old. He's even older than Bill Belichick, for crying out loud. So the timeline would be bad. And trust me, he's not going to work on the Raiders. They have the fact that Pete Carroll chose the Raiders over the Saints, or I think the Jets would still, but the fact that he chose the Raiders is that's just stupid to me. And even Raiders fans will tell you that they don't like the idea of Pete Carroll being their head coach. But let's get back to Ben Johnson, okay? You can't knock the Bears for hiring somebody with the potential of being good with the other two with you already know what you're gonna get. Mike Vrabel and Pete Carroll. Yes, Pete Carroll's won the Super Bowl, but what has he done since then? He's done nothing. He's done nothing in Seattle ever since 2013. Ever since that crucial mistake in 2014, he hasn't gone back to the Super Bowl since. So yes, you can make the case, if we hired those two individuals, we could have winning seasons. Do we want to have winning seasons, or do you want to have success in the playoffs? Which Ben Johnson potentially could do. And he was the top tier candidate for many of the head coaching hires. And like I said, yes, Dan Campbell was the reason the Lions were. Every Lions fan will give the credit to Dan Campbell. But Dan Campbell also, you want to know where Ben Johnson gets the credit? Because Dan Campbell gave the keys to the offense to Ben Johnson. Dan Campbell is a defensive-minded head coach, folks. He's not. He doesn't have a mind of an offensive genius like a Sean McVay or a Matt LaFleur or a Andy Reid or who else? I'm trying to think of a name. Well, John Harbaugh is a special teams coordinator. Kyle Shanahan, even though people want to, don't give him credit, but he's an offensive-minded head coach. Offensive-minded head coaches have succeeded over the past because the league is translating the offense. You can't win Super Bowls anymore with a defensive coordinator like a Bill Belichick anymore, or Mike Tomlin, or a Mike Vrabel. You can't win the Super Bowl with them because that's how the league is. That's why the rule book is translating into the offense. So Ben Johnson, I'm sorry to say this, but here's the thing though, and people need to understand this. And I'm blanking out on his name because I understand people are like saying, being a coordinator is different from being a head coach. I want to bring up a valid example, okay? And I'm going to use the Chiefs as an example, which people used to bring up a lot. Their defensive coordinator. All right, so what's his name? You guys know him by well. Steve. Okay. And I'm gonna say it, and people want to say, what does this have to do with Ben Johnson? Ben Johnson's role is to not worry about one side of the ball, both defense and special teams. And he hired Dennis Allen, who was a top tier defensive coordinator out on the market. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if you look at the Chiefs example and you look and be like, okay, Steve had a head coaching job, which he got fired from. Teams are not going to hire a defensive coordinator that has proven to not be good as a head coach. Dennis Allen has had 2 runs as the head coach. One as the Las Vegas Raiders or Oakland Raiders by then, or whatever, where he was coaching them by then. Didn't work out. And the same thing with the New Orleans Saints. It didn't work out because you want to know why? Because he's a prime example of good coordinator, not a good head coach. So I'm looking at this from a perspective and be like, Ben Johnson made, and this is what Sean McVay, when he first was the head coach of the Rams, he hired some. I'm blanking out on his name, but he hired a coordinator who is proven to have average defenses, and that's the reason why he's able to succeed is because of that said hire. And here's the thing that people don't understand with Mike Vrabel and Pete Carroll. If their offenses do good this year, let's say Josh McDaniels, even though I don't know if he'll be looking for a head coaching job after this, but there is a possible chance Josh McDaniels and whoever the Raiders hire as their offensive coordinator, if they do good, they leave for a potential head coaching job. If Ben Johnson and this offense clicks, Ben Johnson's not leaving. That's why I'm more into the idea of having an offensive coordinator that can be there that can be there for years. And same with the defensive coordinator. That's why the Chiefs defensive coordinator, Steve, has not taken a head coach, is because teams know that he's not a good head coach. So I promise you, if this thing works out, Dennis and Ben Johnson are going to stay here for 5 to 10 years. So, and let's get to Ben Johnson. Yes, Dan Campbell gets all the credit, but I'm not going to sit here and act like Ben Johnson had the fucking Avengers like Kyle Shanahan did. All right. Over the Detroit Lions' first year under Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson, St. Brown was just a rookie. Okay. The Lions built through the draft. They drafted offensive linemen and they drafted weapons in the later rounds. Jameson Williams. And they rarely signed any wide receivers through free agency like Tim Patrick. They mostly build their offensive line through the draft, which I've been begging Ryan Poles to do for a pretty long time. Draft offensive linemen through the draft and worry about the later rounds for wide receivers, which the Bears have weapons. They have DJ Moore. They have Roma Doomsday. So they can decide to keep Keenan Allen or maybe sign a veteran, maybe get T. Higgins, or you maybe get Garrett Wilson, whoever you may choose. The Bears, the Bears. I think Ben Johnson's got a simple mindset of how he wants this team to run. And like I said, Ben Johnson has led the Lions to being a top-tier offense for the past 3-4 years. And I already see the Matt Nagy comparison people do a lot. Folks, Matt Nagy was not calling plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. That was Andy Reid was calling majority of the plays. Matt Nagy was just an NPC. And I think even the Alex Smith was the quarterback at the time. So even the diehard Chiefs fans will tell you that Andy Reid got all the credit for Alex Smith's success before Patrick Mahomes. So Ben Johnson has called plays. And I'm telling you, and I know what people are going to say, oh, if you're looking for an offensive coordinator, why didn't you go after Mike McCarthy? Because Mike McCarthy's days are over, okay? Okay, there's a reason why no teams then look into Mike McCarthy to be the head coach, because they know his time as a head coach is up. His days are over. Like he's not. He probably will get a head coaching job in 2026, but I wouldn't be surprised if nobody hires him. But he's probably going to follow the Bill Belichick route and probably go to a college team. But like that's basically my thoughts. Is I didn't want Mike McCarthy. Would I be mad about it? Yeah, I would have been mad about it, but I would talk myself into it. Be like, okay, Mike McCarthy will get us winning seasons, but we can't get over the hump. And you rather have the potential of somebody like a Ben Johnson that can be an elite head coach over somebody that has proven that can get you winning seasons, but to flop in the playoffs. Or if you be, here's the thing with Mike McCarthy that some people don't understand. Mike McCarthy, whenever he has a losing season, it's due to injuries. So we can't, if you have to rely on the team to be 100% healthy every single year, then it's not going to work. That's why people are overlooking Kyle Shanahan right now. Because if Kyle Shanahan has a 100% healthy team, he's going to the Super Bowl likely, or at least a conference championship appearance. If he doesn't, he barely gets to 500. So that's basically my thoughts on it over Ben Johnson. And also Ben Johnson the Lions had so much injuries on their offense and defense. But guess what? Ben Johnson got that offense to still a high clicking offense. And that's why I'm excited to have him as my head coach. So let me know in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching.